It costs that much cause it takes me fucking hours. Fucking hours. It costs that much cause I don't have superpowers. Superpowers. So you need to pay for my skills cause exposure doesn't pay the bills. It costs that much cause it takes me fucking hours. You need to pay for my skills cause exposure doesn't pay the bills. It costs that much cause it takes me fucking hours.
Make sure your chair backs and your tray tables are in the upright position because we're about to crash land at Denver International Airport. Tonight, I'm Mundus.
Well, if there's like anything.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful rest of your weekend. A little Sunday night capper for you here. I'm your Uncle Warren. You may know me, or you may not. If you do know me and I owe you money, well, just see me later. So hopefully you're having a great evening. I am. I played some video games today. Did a little gaming stream earlier this afternoon with No Man's Sky. Fun stuff. I really enjoyed it. So, and I'm going to enjoy this topic tonight too. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do tonight. Didn't really think about it till this morning. So you know what? Not a lot of people do the Denver airport. I know a lot of it's been debunked and all this stuff, but it's still a crazy story. So, you know, hopefully you'll enjoy it. First, oh, thanks, man. I wish there was actual dope in that intro so I could smoke it. But there's not, so, but we can dream. Miguel, good to see you. Pacheco, always a pleasure. We got Miss Brandy's in here, and Anthony, one of our producers, is so kind to grace us with his presence. Good to see you. Hope you're safe on the road, brother. And of course, Beast, got Beast Bones, Les Bones in there. You may notice at the top, there's the pinned comment, but we also have a poll going on. I had a show Friday night at midnight, and it seemed to go over pretty well. We did the Mothman and Indrid Cold, talking about the Men in Black and all the craziness going around Point Pleasant, West Virginia back in the 60s. And so but we're back here tonight on our regular schedule, Sundays at 6 p.m. So, you know, I'm just curious. I know I put up a poll on the community tab, but I'm just anybody that's watching tonight, if you want to just let me know which night is more preferable for you. I wish to accommodate your whims and your needs and your desires in what limited capacity I'm able to do that. So anyway, so take the poll if you will. We'll end the poll probably towards the end of the show, and we'll see what the survey says. But it's good to see everybody out here tonight. The topic at hand is the Denver International Airport. So the little background on what that is about here. So Denver International Airport was constructed at a cost of $4.8 billion. It opened on February 28, 1995, 16 months behind schedule. However, there are several reasons for this. Before construction could begin On the 1.5 million square foot terminal and its attached concourses, a series of tunnels had to be constructed on the site. Keep that in mind. These tunnels would house the most technologically advanced rail and baggage handling system ever created. Upon completion of the tunnels, construction began on the top side of what would become the DIA. It was Defense Intelligence Agency. Is that a coincidence? Yeah, probably so. Hey, James Magruder over on the Rockfin. Good to see you. Benjamin H.R. Jr., Grandmaster, Brotherhood of the Bell. Okay. Hey, Jimmy, good to see you as well. New World Airport Commission. Exactly. The airport that people say was built by the New World Order. So upon its completion, DIA was the largest landmass airport in America with a total of 33,457 acres. The complex also contains the longest runway in America at 16,000 feet long, allowing for large aircraft such as the 777 and the upcoming Boeing Dreamliner 787 to be able to land, I would imagine. So this airport replaced Stapleton International Airport, where a lot of people were saying, hey, wait a minute. What? We have a perfectly good airport. Why do we need to build this monstrosity over here? So that's part of the legend and lore and the underlying conspiracy theories surrounding the Denver International Airport. So from its opening in 95, conspiracy theorists, or as I like to call them, Nostradamuses, have not been able to leave the subject of the Denver International Airport alone. They believe that the complex is the headquarters and hub of the New World Order. According to most theorists, the New World Order is a group of influential individuals and country leaders throughout the world whose goal is to take over the world. I find it funny that this is from strangehistory.com, that they felt the need to explain what the New World Order is. I'm like, dude, if people are watching Strange History, if they're coming to your site for Strange History, chances are they probably know what the New World Order is, if they're into that kind of shit. So, but I digress. You know, maybe there's a handful of people out there who are like, I don't know what the fuck the New World Order is. Wasn't that a band? Hey Rick, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. According to most theorists, the New World Order, so they control the banks, militaries, and governments of the world with a goal of reducing the world population to 2 billion people in order to maintain better control of the world. And so this has just kind of some facts about what's surrounding, or what goes into the conspiracy theories about the Denver airport here. So, yes, Mod Squad is all here. So the conspiracy theory is that the tunnels underneath the IA are used to house the headquarters of the New World Order. Now, they have dug miles and miles of tunnels underneath the Denver airport. It's kind of crazy how, and they even have like their own like freeways for traffic and stuff. They have traffic cops, the whole 9 yards. These tunnels will be used in the future to house political prisoners. It has also been theorized that these tunnels are being used by the United States government to perform electromagnetic experiments, with one such experiment citing that in a single day, the windshields of 14 aircraft cracked or broke. So Strange History decided to be a reporter and go and look into this, and they said they find no basis for any of these claims. It's widely known that the tunnels underneath the IA house the transit system for the airport as well as the baggage transit system for the airport. That was officially shut down in 2003 as it was plagued with mechanical problems. So yeah, they had this baggage, it was supposed to be the most advanced baggage handling system in the world. Turns out it was just crap. Well, go figure, right? They're going to find the Middle Earth people down there if they already have. Well, I mean, there's also reports of like aliens down there, kind of like the Dulce, what was it, the Dulce base? Oh, where was that? I can't remember where that was. We'll have to do we'll have to do a thing on that too, where there was basically the military was fighting aliens underground. Crazy story. So we're just kind of like we're playing it both sides here. You know, we get to delve into a little bit of the fantasy part and, you know, see what the so-called facts are according to these folks. The larger question is that if the United States government or the New World Order are operating at the Denver International Airport, why would they do so? According to these theories, this is a top secret organization. Why would a top secret organization put their headquarters underneath the footprints of over 40 million people a year? And why would the United States government do top secret experiments at that location when NORAD is located only 75 miles away within the safety of a granite mountain? That's a good question. Well, there's also theories that NORAD and the base are connected by tunnels. In fact, it has been said by those pondering the subject of tunnels underneath the United States that there's like a whole transit system for the upper echelon, like in the government and in, you know, in business and finance, that if they need to get across the country quickly, they can get on these hypersonic trains. So we can't have nice trains on top of the ground because, you know, they have chemicals and they spill and run people out of their houses and make them sick. No, we got to have them underground so the elites can have all the fun. But it asks this question, and I think it's a fairly easy one to answer. So it says, why would the United States do experiments there when NORAD is only 75 miles away? Who's to say they're not doing them in both places, right? It really depends on the experiments that they're doing. So, and to have 40 million people a year overhead is kind of like a nice duck blind, you know. No one would expect it. In fact, as we're going to get into this in a little bit, the people who run the airport they pride themselves on these conspiracy theories. So they're doing the reverse psychology. They're putting all the craziest stuff out there for you to make you think, oh, well, they're saying this. Obviously, this has got to be just some BS that they're just, you know, they're having these conspiracy theories. They can't be true because the airport is just making fun of them out in the open. And we'll have some examples of that here in a moment. Theorists have long. I don't really like saying conspiracy theorists. I'm just going to say theorists because saying conspiracy theorists is just, it's played out. People aren't like they were back in the day when they didn't have access to the knowledge that we do now. So, you know, a lot of times people were grasping at straws in the past, but a lot of them were pretty dead on too. Some pretty smart folks. Yeah, exactly. Underground military installations. Who knows what they're doing down there? Mal said it. What's up? The hair on my toes identifies me as a resident of Hollow Earth. You should probably shave your toes. Oh, before we get into it, I forgot to do this last time. So, I spent a lot of time on this, so I figured we should probably do this. If you're watching this in the future, or you're not a subscriber to the channel, you know, you don't want to be taken away by the UFO here. So please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Every little bit helps. All the links are in the description down below. There's that cow. I knew that cow would make it home safe. Anyway. Whole lot of production for all that. So anyway, back to this. So theorists have long questioned why the city of Denver believed that they needed a new airport, citing that that DIA has fewer gates and less runways than Stapleton International Airport. All right. So this is what we were talking about earlier. Why did they need a brand new airport when they had a perfectly good one? In a full analysis of all facts involved, strangehistory.org has determined that Stapleton International Airport was antiquated, having been built in 1920. Okay. Through the years, Stapleton has been added to and enlarged to the point that there was nowhere else to go. With a desire for increased nonstop service to overseas destinations, the runways at Stapleton would not be long enough for the heavier, longer planes. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Also, in recent years too, Colorado has exploded with the marijuana industry as well. So of course, now that there are more states doing it now, but before, Colorado was one of the first. And so with that, you're going to have marijuana tourism. So you're probably going to have a lot more people flying into Colorado, particularly Denver, to enjoy the new Amsterdam, as it were. So I mean, that kind of makes sense. I could see that, but still, all the tunnels underneath. I mean, to have an airport that big, okay, I can understand that with the runways, but still, I don't know. Those tunnels, what's down there? They only show you what they want to show you, obviously. They're not going to show you like the goods that are really down there. UFOs really just full of people's lost keys and lighters. Was this Dick Cheney's undisclosed location at? I think they took him to Cheyenne. I think they took him to the what was it? The Cheyenne Mountain what's it called? The Cheyenne Mountain Complex. Yes, I think that's where he went. So okay, so that I'll give him that. With larger airport, need larger landing strips and stuff like that. Another thought conspiracy theorists have long contended is that the runways at DIA are laid out in the shape of a Nazi swastika. Ooh. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to try something here. Don't look behind the curtain. Nobody knows. Okay, so this is the pattern of the runways at Denver International Airport. I'm sorry, that looks like a swastika. Okay, it's okay. You could probably say, well, it's got these other lines in there and stuff too, man. It's just not really. But the first thing you see when you see this is a fucking swastika. Okay, so all right, so I don't know how they're gonna explain this. Ooh, that got really big. That's not what she said. Okay. All right, so let's see what they have to say about the swastikas. So they've long contended that the runways of the DIA are laid out in the shape of a Nazi swastika. Okay, so Strange History somewhat agrees with this, but let's take a closer look at that. Airplanes are notoriously racist. That's funny. Okay, so the area where the airport is located is prone to winds that are known to change direction and speed rapidly. Yes, Denver is the mile-high city. So when you're that high up in the air, those of you who live in mountainous areas, winds can be kind of crazy. One possibility is that the different runways laid out in that pattern would allow for flight controllers to adjust to the changing wind so that the aircraft that are taking off and landing will not have to deal with the changing wind, hence keeping the fifth busiest airport traffic moving smoothly. Another possibility is that the runways were laid out in a shape on purpose. If that's the case, they said they'll argue that the symbol that is seen from the overview is not a Nazi swastika, but a symbol that has been around since 4000 BC. Okay, now they're talking about the peace symbol. Okay, so I doubt anything that's related to capitalism, like an airport like this, they're going to have anything to do with a peace symbol. So I'm going to have to say survey says on that one. So it's a symbol that's been around since 4000 BC. The symbol itself is used in Buddhism and Hinduism. It is the Chinese symbol for Buddhism and has been found on mosaics. Yeah, just don't, but still don't make any swastikas. Okay. It's just, the people's not going to see a peace symbol. It's famous for being a Nazi symbol. Okay. So don't even try and go there. Strangehistory.com. What else we got here? So, now let's take a look at the murals. So before we do this, I have a video here. We'll just let it play while we're talking here. So these are some of the, okay, go away, letters. So these are some of the murals that were there or are still there. And if you notice these things, you see like a whole bunch of happy kids, and there's like all kinds of joy, and it looks like diversity of different cultures, and you got whales in the background. All right, so that's all looks well and good, right? So but then you'll get to some of these others here, and there should be coming up here shortly. I do have one. Let's see, maybe I could. So this is, that's just the American map. So I don't think this one is, they're going to be showing the ones that. So there, okay, here's an example. So you have all this going on. But here you have a kid laying in a casket. What the fuck is this? All right. I really want to know what this has. And the eyes are closed, mouth is open. This chick looks dead. Okay. So to have like such a peaceful mural and stuff like this, and then you have something like a dead child in a casket, it really doesn't make much sense if it's supposed to be some sort of peaceful mural, right? And so you have all this going on in the foreground, but if you can look back here, let's see, right here in the back, trees, everything is on fire. It looks like a very apocalyptic scene in the background, right? So you have all this and you have like right here, this person on the bottom here to the left wearing the red hat, looks like they're crying. And it's just a bit, and you have like the turtle here that's wrapped up in a net. You have another person in a casket right here. This is just some bizarre shit that they have at the airport there. It's like, why would you have these kinds of scenes at an airport? You know, and then they have these, they have the gargoyles. There's gargoyles around there. And it's just so weird and creepy. Why it's anyway. Exactly, Miguel. Excited, astonished faced indeed. Boy. I encourage you to look at these murals yourself. With like this is not really a good representation because it's kind of moving around. You don't get to see much, but it's just, you're talking about peace, but then you have dead bodies in here. And this one too. So you have the guy in the gas mask, right? With the gun and the saber. And you have down below here, this family, like, and you have the whole line of people. Yeah, that is fucking nuts. It really is. So this was from JG Kicks video. Thank you for that, JG Kicks. So we can go into the murals here a little more in depth. Let's see. No, go away. Why are you doing that? Okay, so talking about these murals, let me put this up here. Okay, so this is from Undercover, Colorado. So they're talking about background information at Denver International Airport. Before we get into the murals themselves, they'll give us a little more information. But we went over the information, like when it was open. But there may be a little bit more in here. So when it was built, Denver already had that well-functioning Stapleton International Airport. But so we went over that. Beyond the airport being unneeded, which in itself lays the groundwork for some of these theories, is the fact that the airport was also completed 2 years behind schedule, weirdly due to many contractors being fired during construction. You have to remember too, whenever, hey, Kate, what's going on? Slaying the dove of peace. Ooh, that's deep. So whenever you have like some sort of military, like top secret installation that needs to be built, think way back. Think back to the Manhattan Project. How did they keep the Manhattan Project a secret when like a bunch of people knew about it? Right? They said, well, you can't keep a secret. Somebody's going to leak it. Somebody's leak it. Nobody leaked the Manhattan Project. They kept that shit under wraps because they compartmentalized. A lot of the scientists didn't know what the other scientists were doing. Sometime soon, we're going to have an episode talking about Area 51 and Bob Lazar, and he says the same thing. He said a lot of these, he worked there in Rachel, Nevada at Area 51, but he said it was compartmentalized too. They only worked on certain specific projects, whereas as part of the whole, but they didn't know what everybody else was doing. You want to throw soup at the mural? Well played, sir. Well played. So who's to say that if there's any sort of military function to the Denver International Airport, they wouldn't compartmentalize that as well. So having many contractors being fired during construction, that could have been by design. Maybe they wanted them to work an X amount of the project, and then they cut them loose to make it, and probably have some excuse saying like, oh, we're over budget or something like that, and we got to let you go kind of thing, instead of like, you got to go because you know too much. Theorists surmise that switching contractors so many times made sure that nobody truly understood the true scope of the project. Exactly. Compartmentalizing. The project was initially supposed to cost only around 1.5 billion, but ended up costing 5.6 billion. Right? It leaves room for outrageous speculation. Outrageous speculation? What'd you do with $4.1 billion? The only one that knows, the only entity that I know that knows how to make that much money disappear quickly without any questions raised by Congress, that's the military. That's what the military does. Famously, on September 10th, 2001, Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld gave a press conference saying that $2 trillion could not be accounted for at the Pentagon. So, and then we all know what happened the next day. People forgot about that $2 trillion pretty quick. So anyway, and we'll get into that when we do. We're definitely going to do a 9/11 episode. Maybe I may have to bring in the posse for that one, and have a round table on the 9/11. I'd love to get Jason Burmis, but I don't know. He's kind of a big shot, and I don't, I'm just itty bitty. So let's get back into these murals. So who's the artist? Tanguma. So he makes this one. Let me see if I can bring this down a little bit. Oop, whoa. Okay, I guess that's about the extent. So you have this mural here. It looks like a dead leopard. not a Def Leppard, as in the rock band who, I gotta tell you this joke. What has 9 arms and sucks? Def Leppard, because the drummer lost his arm. Anyway, sorry, that's an old joke. So you have like a dove in the background here, and you got a penguin here giving some side eye. There's that turtle again, and the coffins. So in the first section of this mural by Tanguma, it shows brightly colored, horrific scene of trees burning in the background, animals in glass cages, girls lying in coffins, and young people fleeing the scene while crying. Some seriously dark and scary stuff, to be sure. In the second section of the mural, though, we see a diverse number of children and animals coming together around a futuristic plant. Look at that plant. That's that looks like some weed, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. That's that kids be like, that weed looks good. I want that rainbow weed. Can I have that rainbow weed, please? Thank you. Right, but let's check that out. It's all nice and peace and harmony and stuff like that. And you got animals in the background. So the initial known theme of environmental destruction versus environmental healing is easy to see, but many people believe there's more than meets the eye to this famous work. For instance, in the first section of the mural, the bird that is in the middle is a quetzal bird, referring to Quetzalcoatl. Central American leader of the Aztecs, Mayans. I'm not quite sure. I'm not a history math surgeon, so I'm trying to work that out. Which can sometimes be used in an allegory for extinction. All right, one of the main conspiracies surrounding the airport is that a mass extinction event will happen soon, and DIA was built as a type of sanctuary for those selected to emerge in the New World unscathed. Similarly, on the other side of the mural, the plant that all the children are gathering around can be seen as a symbol for the New World government that everyone will have to follow once that extinction event is over. So, is Aztec... Okay, thanks, Rick. See, that my old man always says, surround yourself with smart people, son, because you ain't exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer. So, he was a loving man, but he was very blunt, a little too blunt at times. So, how long have these murals been in Denver Airport? Did these replace labor union themed murals? I think these were the original murals. Now, I can't say for sure if they're still there or not, or whether they've been replaced. But when it opened in '95, these murals were in place. So the extinction event is pictured clearly in the earlier mural. So this is the go away. Children of the World Dream of Peace. So this is one we were talking about with this person with the gas mask on and looks like some sort of military figure with the bayoneted automatic weapon, like I said, the saber, and then you have these like a child here. Like these children, this child looks like with the teddy bear looks like they're asleep, but then you got the one in the back that's kind of huddled over, and then you have this long line of people with woe. Yeah, that's the one with the slayed dove. Yeah, so you have the dove here. So you have the symbolism with the blade, where the tip of the blade is, it looks like it's penetrated the bird. In essence saying peace has been killed. Go away. What are you doing? So in the first section of this mural, a gas mask soldier wreaks havoc with a gun and a sword. There's also a caravan of refugees trudging onward away from him, a hiding child with a teddy bear, a dead child in someone's arms, and ruins everywhere. In the second section of the mural, there is a celebration of many young people with the same soldier dead below them. Doves rest on his body as his sword is being disassembled by a kid with a hammer. So, okay. So this is apparently what they're talking about here, right? There's your dead soldier. Although it does look like he's sleeping. He could be asleep. The doves are sitting on him. and they're you can see right there in the middle there, the kids are messing with the sword. Fred, Edward, good to see you. Fred was in the chat earlier today during the gaming. Good to see you, Fred. Hope you're having a lovely Sunday. Hope everybody's having a lovely Sunday. It says, Children of the World Dream of Peace has been moved to storage for airport renovations. Yeah, I think I have something on here about some of the renovations that they're doing, and they're just basically going all out on this conspiracy theory. They know about people talking about all the crazy stuff there, and they seem to be having fun with it. And that may be like a psychological thing to make you feel like, hey, look, we know these theories are crazy, so we're gonna have some fun with it. Here, go pet the gargoyle. That sort of thing. So the war versus peace themes on this mural are quite clear, yet there are some alternately curious ideas as to what the mural truly symbolizes. Themes of genocide, death, and destruction are clearly recalled by the imagery here, which easily goes along with the idea from the other mural of an extinction event that is about to happen. So they're saying that these murals are kind of like one is one scenario, one is another. Like it just seems to me like there's two paths. There's like one there's nothing but dystopia, death and destruction, wreaking havoc on the planet. The other is hope and peace and everyone coming together with love and changing the world for the better, that sort of thing. One way these two murals work is by telling a story, yet if we told these same stories again but in reverse order, there would be staggeringly different messages. In peace and harmony with nature, we would see a picture of our society which was already one with nature, and now only recently are we truly breaking away from being environmentally friendly. Well, not really. Recently, if you mean when the Industrial Revolution kicked off. When it comes to children of the world dream of peace being reversed, we are shown that a great evil was previously driven out of society and society is currently working together. However, the second section of the mural shows that evil has come back to society and might destroy it. Yeah, I heard about your cockatoo, Fred. I'm very, very sorry for your loss there. People who don't have pets, they don't understand that animals tend to become part of the family, especially if you've had them long enough. I had a couple of cats back in the day, and I had to give them up when I was moving. There was no place I could have for them, so I had to give them away. I don't know what happened to them, but it was one of the most gut-wrenching things that ever happened to me. And the cats were still alive. I mean, they went to a nice place. They were having fun, so that made it better. But still, it's kind of like losing a child, when your pet dies, like, especially the longer you have them, the more you love them and the more you're going to miss them when they're gone. So, so my condolences to you, Fred. So, I mean, I hope the animal's going to be okay. But if not, I don't know, like they say, well, the animal's probably in a better place. We say that about people too. And the way this world is going, yeah, you hate to see people die or anything like that, but you kind of, what do they say in the Bible? The living shall envy the dead in the end times. So, yeah, Miguel, I don't have pets anymore either. Unless you count these rats around here, who seem to, hang out at times. So, but they're not very friendly. So I don't think they're really, I really think they're pets. So anyway, back to this. So they have these murals here, and they paint these very dystopian pictures of the future, and it's pretty wild. So let me set this up here. What else do we got here? Oh yes. So, and also on the premises, they have this horse, this giant horse. I think it's like 30 something feet tall. Where is it at here? Okay. So, yeah, let me pull this up here real quick. All right. So there's this giant horse. I think they have a picture up here at the top of this horse right here. This giant blue horse with red eyes. Could be a stoner horse. You know, if he's got red eyes, you know, probably doesn't have any Visine. So let me get back down here to where they were talking about this. And we'll talk about the gargoyles too here in a second. So no roundup of DIA legends would be complete without a mention of the most controversial and storied piece of art, the 32-foot tall sculpture of a blue horse rearing up on its hind legs above Pena Boulevard is officially titled Mustang, but most Denverites know him by his demonic-sounding name, Lucifer. What's going on, gamer? Good to see you, brother. So you got the satanic horse out front to and you have to pass by it when you're going into the airport. You're like, hey, there's Satan's horse. That's nice. You know, or it could be a very cold horse, you know, because it's blue skin. So with his red glowing eyes and a mane that looks like the Medusa snakes and any horse's hair than we've seen, Lucifer is already a frightening sight, but his history adds an extra layer of intrigue. I found this to be particularly interesting. So the artist was Luis Jimenez. The title is it's called Mustang. It was commissioned in the mid-90s and inspired by the bright colors and themes of famed Mexican muralists like Diego Rivera and Jose Clemente Orozco. Jimenez grew up working in his father's sign-making shop and went on to receive acclaim during his 30 years as an artist, primarily known for his large fiberglass sculpture. So it's a big, giant, 32-foot tall fiberglass horsey. Yeah, straight up Lucifer. That's what it's called. That's what the locals call it. Unfortunately, Mustang was to be his last project. After working on the piece for nearly a decade, Jimenez was killed in an accident in his New Mexico studio in June of 2006 when a piece of the sculpture fell and severed an artery in his leg. The piece was eventually completed by his children and unveiled in 2008. So when the art, hey Nikki, what's going on? Good to see you, lady. This just adds to the mix, right? Whether you believe all this stuff about the Denver airport or not, a lot of this stuff is just too weird on its own. Even if there's a logical explanation for these things, it's just really just like a very WTF moment. Yeah, gamer, the Denver airport, Denver International Airport, built in 19, I think they started work in 93. I think they finally opened it in 95. So I found that to be interesting that the guy who made this devil horse was killed by the devil horse, or at least a piece of the devil horse. Between his tragic backstory and menacing visage, Lucifer has been a target for mythmakers since he was erected, with many insisting that he's cursed. Well, you know, you start off killing the artist that made you, you know, I would say some sort of curse is going to be involved. Some even claim that his glowing red eyes indicate that he represents one of the steeds that will be ridden by the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Although Jimenez himself said they were simply meant to honor the wild spirit of the West. Yes, the wild spirit of the West, with everybody with yellow eyes who didn't have jaundice were considered wild and free and not suffering some sort of malady or maybe possessed by the devil. Exactly. So, you know, there's just one thing after another when it comes to this airport. So I mentioned before the grinning gargoyles, right? So you're going to freak out people around this place. It's like, go for broke, right? Go the whole 9 yards. Get yourself some gargoyles. These colorful murals, and it might be easy to miss the two small gargoyles set atop columns in the east and west baggage claim area. Historically, gargoyles were added to buildings to protect the people inside from evil spirits, and Denver's pair, collectively titled Notre Denver, is no different. Grinning down on arriving passengers, they are there to help ensure the safe arrival of luggage. So they're gargoyle luggage. Yes, Nikki is on Twitch. So we're streaming on Twitch. We're streaming on YouTube. We're also streaming on Rockfin tonight. So we have some of our Rockfin peeps in the mix too. So always good to see everybody, So although gargoyles have been part of religious architecture for centuries, well, they have, but that's not a glowing endorsement. Saying what we know about churches and religion itself. So, I don't know where they're going with that, but some visitors view the pair as harbingers of evil rather than noble protectors. That's what I look at. It's like, you got some gargoyles around there, and that shit ain't already 100 and something years old. You're gonna have some problems. So what else do I have here for you regarding the airport? Okay, it's this. Oh yeah, so if you're late coming in, don't worry. We have a poll going on. We're trying to figure out when we can show when you want this show to air, either on Friday nights at midnight or Sunday evenings at 6 p.m. or both? Question mark means I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so I mentioned this earlier about the tunnels down below, right? Massive tunnel complex beneath this airport. We're talking about 33,000 acres, square acres of airport with these giant ass runways, and they have so you have all these tunnels underneath that they claim is for transporting baggage and that sort of thing. But are these tunnels connected to other places around the country? So one of the places I was looking into was the Cheyenne Mountain Complex. So let's bring that up here. So the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, it's a secure, closed to the public underground facility located at the Cheyenne Mountain Air Force Station near the city of Colorado Springs. Nikki says, this time is better for me, but it's okay. Your stream should be when you want. Nikki, you're just too sweet. I know, but I want to accommodate the peoples too, This is not my show. This is our show. So, and I want our show to grow together with all of us. So, but I want to make sure everybody's comfortable. And I could do either or. I mean, I kind of like doing the Friday midnight one. That was pretty cool. And I like the vibe of Sundays. It always seems like Sundays are great for like paranormal shows like this, Jimmy says, I voted for Friday. They wanted to change my vote, but it was too late. I chose the worst of two evils, typical. Look at Brandy trying to do a bloodless coup. Hey, you know what, Brandy? Okay, here's the deal. This is what we're gonna do. Okay. She says, Jimmy, we can add Nikki to our girls' night on Mundus and help Uncle Warren get more subs. That'd be great. So I'm going to take over your spot on Around the World with D. We're gonna call it D and Uncle Warren. All right, it's gonna be like one of those reality shows where they swap spouses, we swap hosts, and we do other people's shows. That would be an interesting concept. I wonder how many content creators would go for that, who do live shows on the regular, right? You see me doing Nikki's show, she's watching all these like crazy like you know, like Russian videos and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there, you know, and I got the nice hat on. I'd have to get a blue hat like she has. We about to overwhelm him. Poor Warren will have a heart attack. I am. I'm a little bit weak in the heart. So, but hey, you can make the show better. Go for it. You know, that's all I care about is a good show. So anyway, so you have the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, right? In the mountain there at Colorado Springs. So the facility is owned and operated by the Air Force Space Command with NORAD. And so this is the NORAD facility that they were talking about earlier. Roughly 30% of the floor space and about 5% of daily operations there, according to the Department of Defense, with NORAD and U.S. Northcom there. So it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility to have these. If they have this underground base, that apparently it's EMP proof. It's supposedly earthquake and nuclear bomb proof. So pretty sure that's where the elites are going to go once they start World War III, which is probably going to happen any day now. Jimmy says, I'm leaving for a week mid-March. Anyone want to host my show? So I don't know. I just always found that like this story fascinating. I mean, could it be a whole bunch of bunk? Maybe. Me not know. Like I said, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a historian. I'm not an archaeologist. I'm not a paleontologist. I'm none of these things. You know, I'm just a super fan of the crazy and the macabre and the weird and the wild. And I'm pretty sure the people who showed up tonight and the people watching this as we speak are the same way. So I really do think that there's something weird going on in Denver at the Denver airport. The murals are creepy. The gargoyles are creepy. I mean, it just, you know, and then you have the Masonic, the Freemason plaque there. Of course, it was built by Freemasons. So, you know, that just shoots that up to 11 on the craziness there. So, but apparently there's new exhibits there. They may have taken down some of the murals and put up more outrageous type stuff, because they have stuff around there like under construction, but then they'll have a picture of an alien on there and yeah, all that kind of stuff. So but Russia is so damn pretty and the guys are hot. That's true. I am part Russian, although I'm not really in a hurry that much. Anyway, so this may be another one we revisit in the future. Maybe if it pertains to something else, we could talk about like underground bases in general around the country, around the world. You know, they have these hidden missile silos that they're prepping for the elite, that they made it just like comfy condos underground with like swimming pools and gyms and, you know, personal chefs and stuff like that. So you don't have that kind of stuff underground for nothing if you don't think some shit's going to go down. So, but anyway, so I think we're going to end this here. We got Due Dissonance is coming on right now on YouTube, I believe. I think they're just on YouTube. They may be, I think they're on Facebook too. So, Keaton, I don't know if Russell's back or not. I don't think he's still in India. So anyway, great show. You want to check him out. That's coming up here shortly in about a minute or so. But I want to thank everybody tonight who came out for this. Be thinking about other topics that you want me to cover that I'll go into more detail about. You can email me. I'll put it in the YouTube chat here. and just send me your, like, hey man, there's this crazy story out of Wyoming about this guy, and he melts hole. We could do holes in the ground. They have the that super mega hole that they drilled in Russia, uh, and apparently thought they had what's up, Yona? Apparently thought they had heard the screams of the damned from hell. They thought they had poked a hole in hell. That's a fun story. So we'll talk. We can do that at some point too. But yeah, just the best thing to do is just email me at mundusultra@gmail.com, and I'll take a look at it. We'll look into it, and yeah, because there's so many bizarre and crazy stories out there. We don't know anything about this world. We don't know anything about our oceans. That's another one too, and Jimmy's gonna hate that one. She'll talking about what lies beneath in the deep dark crevices of the ocean. Like crazy, like what's in the Bermuda Triangle, what's in the Marianas Trench, that sort of thing. So, James Magruder on Rockfin says their most important mission is tracking Santa around Crimbo. That may be true. Is George Bush's mom Aleister Crowley's daughter? That's a good one. Yes, that is a good one. Do yourself a favor. Just look at two pictures. Look at Aleister Crowley and look at Barbara Bush. That also has a NASA twist to it, that story. So we definitely need to look into that one. The lizard people. I know people are always down about they always want to get down with the lizard people. That's always the best. The lizard people. Maybe pull some David Icke in here or something like that and talk about that stuff. Sinkholes. Those are good. Sinkholes in Russia are terrifying. It's a weird phenomenon. Some are explainable. Some are like, I don't know how that quite happened. But anyway, yes. So, and one last check here. I'm going to check the poll here. We're going to go ahead and end it with 14 votes. So far, it's close. It said 57% to 43% say they want this on Sunday nights at 6 p.m. So, but we may do some bonus shows at midnight on Friday night too. I don't like to cut into Yona's time because he does a show on late Friday night too, and I like to make sure that I don't like to overlap with other people, even though I'm overlapping with Due Distance right now. But that's all right. Those guys got enough people watching. They're fine. Don't worry about that. So, yeah, David Icke is awesome. I just can't look at his hands. Don't look at his hands. I like Ike. Not the president. But anyway, I just want to say I'm rambling at this point. My hat wants to get out of here. So thank you everybody for showing up tonight and for Friday night too. Like I said, I got I got ghosts in my blood. I think they're trying to get out. So tomorrow I may do another gaming stream, continuing the No Man's Sky series. That's on the Extra Bullet channel. Also on the Extra Bullet channel tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Activists and LaRoucheite, I guess you could say. Jose Vega is going to be on the show. We're going to talk about how he got into activism, what spurred him on. He's a crazy New Yorker like I am, so I'm sure he's got some fun stories. So please tune in for that. And like I said, to help the show, go to Linktree /extrabulla. All the donation links are in there, all their contact, all their platforms, all that stuff. Like, share, and subscribe. The more we grow, the better we can do things, and the more fun stuff, the more entertainment that we can bring you. So at a low price. But I thank everybody for coming out. Definitely, yes, shout out to Jose. I can't wait for that interview. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good conversation. So take care of yourselves. Keep an open mind, because you never know what lies in the world beyond. So take care of yourselves. We'll see you here possibly Friday night again, but more than likely it's going to be next Sunday again. So Peace out, y'all. Have a good night. Stay weird.